Hey everyone, it's Anthony, and welcome to the Boring Interesting Podcast. Now, I have always wanted to create a podcast, and I finally get to do it just because of a school assignment. I know, a school assignment, maybe do a podcast, but I mean, still, I get to do one. Now, I will be discussing a topic for school, obviously, and I will tell you that in a bit. But this is somewhat a assignment, as I said, not really, because I am not turning this podcast in as a video. No, I'm not doing that. But I know these headphones might look a little weird, but I'm just gonna use them for you can hear me better, and yeah. Now, I'm not gonna keep this intro freaking long, we're just gonna get into it. So now, today, I will be talking about progress. Now, you might be like, what progress? Well, progress on social media and things about the 19th century and stuff like that. So yeah, let's get into it. So, examples of progress from the 19th century. In the 19th century, sending messages to people started as letters, but when the telegraph was built in 1843, it changed the way people could communicate. The telegraph allowed messages to be delivered over a long distance far faster than a horse and rider could carry them. Although telegraph messages were short, they were a revolutionary way to convey news and information. The first message was sent by Samuel F. B. Morse on May 24th, 1844. I know, right? So long ago, it's so crazy. And it said, "What hath God wrought?" Nah, I don't really know what that means, but that's what he said. So, yeah. The telegraph also helped facilitate the growth in the railroads, consolidated financial and commodity markets, and reduced information costs within and between firms. Imagine something costing $100 just to ship it from a horse. But now it's $20 because you got trains and stuff. That is just crazy. Social media and stuff, this really impacted pretty good back in the day. And it's impacted us so much now. It's really good. Now, how did these examples impact people? Were they largely positive impacts or negative impacts? So, the telegraph transformed how wars were fought, and how journalists and newspapers conducted businesses. Rather than taking weeks to be delivered by horse and carriage mail carts, pieces of news could be exchanged between telegraph stations almost instantly. And that's pretty positive to me. Now, I don't know what you think, but that's pretty positive to me because it really helps people. Now, I think the long-term effect of these examples have been as the first means of long-distance communication, the telegraph changed the shape of American society. It helped people get connected to each other easier when they couldn't see each other. It expanded the business possibilities and expedited the work of a variety of professions, including bankers, brokers, lawyers, and hotel proprietors. Now, I know those are big words, but deal with me here, okay? Deal with me. Now, I think the United States needs progress in social media. The United States needs to make progress on how social media is used. Social media began as a place for people to post their day-to-day lives, but as the years went on, people started to get used to social media and use it to bring down people because they think that when they're behind the screen, people want to know who they are. Social media is a significant cause of mental health issues, and when people can just think about posting whatever they want to hurt others' needs to be stopped because it is harming / creating issues, and one day the whole world could be impacted by something negative someone said and lead to war destruction. No. We're going to talk a lot more about social media in these few minutes topic, whatever you want to call them. So yeah. So, social media has created positive and negative changes, so how do we continue progress in social media? Well, we continue progress in social media by coming together in talking about how we can make social media a safer and more fun place for people. Now, progress takes place when a majority of people advance socially, politically, and economically. The railroads were a big part of progress because it helped transport goods and people faster. Now, my evidence for this is the expansion of railroads leads to the opening of new markets, and a greater variety of products can be shipped faster and further away. In addition, a larger amount of people can move west with speed and ease. And that's really good. Like, that is such positive impact. Like, it really helped. And this is going to be my explanation, which will be a quote-unquote, which I did not provide the source, so bear with me here, So, just quote-unquote from an article, it said that the Transcontinental Railroad meant the frontier could be extended with a greater movement of the population. Also, the railroad network expanded available markets for goods. An item for sale in New York can now make it out west in a much shorter time. Like, do you ever wonder how your package gets here in one day? Like Amazon, how they do it? Because of railroads and planes. Like, this has impacted the future generations, and that is how we are here today. So the railroad allowed for the movement of a wider variety of goods to much further distances. This had two effects. Sellers found new markets to sell their goods, and those living on the frontier were able to acquire goods that were previously unavailable. Now, this is how progress is negative. So, progress is negative when people don't advance socially, politically, and economically. Duh! If that's how progress is positive, if progress is positive by them advancing socially, politically, and economically, then of course that's going to be the opposite, and they don't advance socially, politically, and economically. Now, in the 19th century, the cotton gin. Oh, right before I say that, the last one was also from the 19th century. Just forgot to say that, but yeah. So these two are going to be from the 19th century. Most of this topic is going to be 19th century. So just keep an eye out for that. So the cotton gin was a negative progress because it created people to get more slaves, making slavery expand through the South. Now that is just hurts to hear. Like slaves, like people that had to go through that and had to be slaves. That was horrible, and I'm just so glad that slaves are not a thing anymore, and it is illegal to have slaves. So I'm just really glad, and I hope everyone out there is just so grateful for slaves, for having slaves being illegal. So yes, period. Now my evidence. Now the cotton gin makes cotton a very profitable cash crop. Slaves that were used to pick the seeds from cotton were moved to the fields for planting and harvesting cotton. As a result, slavery expanded throughout the South. Now, this is my explanation. In 1790, there were approximately 700,000 slaves, and when the cotton gin was made in 1793, the slave population increased from 900,000 in 1800 to 4 million in 1860. Now, that's a little too many slaves. A little too many slaves, am I not? Am I right? Okay. I must have this British accent. I didn't even know if I was getting a British accent. Okay, I'm just like having fun, you know. Now, I might like in these podcast episodes, I might do some accents here and there. Like, don't make fun of me, don't hate to anyone, but just for fun, you know, just to spice things a little up, and yeah. Not for the impact. So the impact was the long-term impact of progress is that transportation and technology has advanced so much that it is helping save lives and spread awareness about things much, much more. Now, like planes, you know how like let's say if someone went like sliding on a glacier, there was imagine if we didn't have planes. Imagine if we didn't have any of that. Someone would have to carry them all the way back, and who knows how far that is, who knows how steep that is. Like, that saving lives. Like planes and all this technology stuff, they're saving lives, and we can spread awareness about more conditions and how how people treat us, and especially with this Ukrainian crisis, what's happening right now with Putin and Ukraine. This is helping spread awareness, and it's like really, really good. So that's a bonus. Now, the railroads were positive progress because it helped goods and people transfer, helped goods and people transfer faster to areas. The cotton gin was a negative progress because it created people to get more slaves, and then slaves started expanding through the South. Now, y'all hate slaves, hashtag no more slaves, hashtag slaves are, no, hashtag we love, you know what, never mind, I don't even know, that hashtag was, no. Anyways, we're gonna move on because I don't know what I'm saying. So, my final thoughts for this topic in specific is that this is important because it shows that when progress is positive, it can help people in the economy, but when it is negative, it can hurt people, and that could spread throughout. Like, it could be really serious. It could be really high and really low. Like, we really can. Now, we're gonna get to our second part. This is gonna be more on how social media affects and how it needs more progress. So, the social media needs more positive progress. Social media, so it's kind of going to be a restate of what I said earlier, but and not really, kind of. So, social media used to be a fun place where you can connect with people that are not nearby you, and you can share your life on social media apps. But as the years passed, people started thinking that since they're behind the screen, the people won't know who they are. So that made people start bullying online. And we don't really like that. We need to put a stop to that. Like, if you are seeing someone bully, please tell them to stop. Please, if you're even bullying yourself, just know how wrong it is and how it can really hurt people. So, just please keep an eye on that for that. So, social media began as a place for people to post their day-to-day lives, but as the years went on, people started to get used to social media and use it to bring down others because they think that when they're behind a screen, people want to know who they are. Social media is a significant cause of mental health issues, and when people can just think about posting whatever they want to hurt others needs to be stopped because it is harming / creating issues, and one day the whole world could be impacted by something negative someone said and lead to war destruction. I'm pretty sure that's what I said earlier, so just bear with me, okay? Just bear with me. Now, my evidence is, however, so this is from an article, I didn't put the article, but yeah, it's from an article, so quote unquote, however, multiple studies have found a strong link between heavy social media and an increased risk for depression, anxiety, loneliness, self-harm, and even suicidal thoughts. Social media may promote negative... Well, my headphones turned off, I forgot to charge them, so we're just gonna have we're just not gonna have to use the headphones right now, so hopefully the audio on my phone will be decent enough to be able to hear me and stuff. So yeah, let's get to it. So I'm gonna reinstate my evidence, actually no, because I'm just gonna no. So yeah, never mind, I'm just not. So we're just gonna get back to the last thing I said. So social media may promote negative experiences such as inadequacy about your life or appearance. I think that's how you say it, but yes. Now, this is my explanation. So, this evidence is important because it tells us how social media increases risk for depression, anxiety, loneliness, or self-harm. It helps us understand that social media can create a negative impact on people. Now, if you're out there struggling with body positivity because on Instagram you see other people their bodies are so perfect, you think they're so perfect, that is just creating really bad thoughts for people and really just impacting them really negative. So this is why we need just to make this better. Social media needs more progress. So yeah. So now I will be comparing and contrasting the telegraph and the telephone. So the telegraph and the telephone are similar because they help people communicate over long distances, but the telephone sends sounds instead of codes like the telegraph. The telephone is to contact people by calling them, while the telegraph is to send messages, obviously. Obviously, like that's how we use it today. Now, my evidence of similarities is that the telegraph and the telephone help people communicate easier. Even though they do that in different ways, they both help people communicate instead of having to mail someone a letter, which could take weeks or months. Like, so much better. Like, we all know that. We all know that for sure. Now, the explanation. So, this evidence is important because it tells us how the telephone and telegraph help people communicate easier and faster instead of having to wait weeks and months for a letter to get to someone. Like, period. Like, so much better. Now, the evidence of differences. Why did I do this? I don't know why I added an extra ES. I don't know why. But anyways, the telegraph sends messages by using Morse code, while the telephone calls people by using sound. Obviously, I just talked about that. This evidence is important because it shows us how they both have a different way of communicating with people. So yeah, so that's the differences between them. So, the telegraph and the telephone are a fascinating piece of technology to help people communicate much easier and faster. Although they communicate in different ways, by the telegraph using Morse code and the telephone using sound. But they both still have a huge impact on helping people communicate. So, we love that. Period. Now, unfortunately, this is our final thoughts. We're getting to the end, so just bear with me. Okay? So the telegraph and the telephone have impacted people in so many ways by being able to communicate. It has led to advancements of being able to message and call people faster. Instead of Morse code for messages, people can type out letters and longer sentences. There are also emojis to express emotion. Calling people has become much clearer to hear and call people over longer distances. And that is my final thoughts, and that's my final topic on progress. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I know it's kind of long. I actually was not expecting it to be kind of long. But I mean, it is a podcast. Podcasts can be pretty long. So, I mean, yeah. So now it's time to wrap it up. So that is obviously the end of this episode, and I hope you enjoyed, and remember to like and subscribe. But before we go, like, you can't leave me just yet, like, right before we go. Before we go, at the end of each episode, I will ask you, a question on a certain topic where you can state your opinion and discuss your thoughts in the comments. Now, I might, respond back to y'all about your thoughts. I might, respond, see, like, just see what I think, have a conversation, like, if you were a part of the podcast. So, yeah, remember to comment right now. Comment. Or, wait, why are you gonna, I haven't even told you the question. Sorry, not yet. Don't comment just yet. Let me tell you the question. So today's topic question is, do you think social media is hurting teens and kids? Remember to tell me what you think in the comments. So yeah, go comment right now. What do you think social media is hurting teens and kids? Do you think that? And I'm not gonna say what I think because this is obviously a question for y'all. Now we will discuss this in the comments because this is what it meant for. Now I hope y'all enjoyed, and yeah, bye. Wait, not me making this outro so long, but before you go. Remember? So I will try to post every Sunday, just to get that whole recap of the week and stuff like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, this is obviously my notes. Yes, guys, I'm not actually a YouTuber. I have notes here. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Bye!